Hey guys, Comet here. Welcome to episode 7 in my Needy Duplicate series. In the last episode, I redid some of the farm work in here. I've got conveyor loaders and auto sweepers now to remove duplicate labor from the equation. I've removed half of the incubators, and I have this automatic kill chamber here. I also got down into the oil biome all the way down here. And so in this episode, I want to start taking advantage of these oil reservoirs. So first things first, let's research the oil well. And that is here, under plastic manufacturing. Now that's going to take a lot of water to run. I do have this here, but I'd rather try and use this, because it makes cold brine. So I can use that to soak up some heat from the base, and then send it down to be turned into crude oil. Well, I could also use this little bit of water that's here. It's already here. That might not be a terrible idea, actually. Well, now that I have access to the entire bottom, let me plan out the ladder. I think that might be where I should start. Right there, 127, but if you include the ladder, it's 128. Okay, perfect. So this is the exact center. And why is that helpful? Well, that tells me where to put the fire pole and transit tube. But for now, I'm just going to have a ladder and a transit tube, and I don't think it matters which side everything's on, so I'll do the ladder on the... I'll do it on the left side. Fire pole can go on the right. And that comes up... Oh, is it off by 2 blocks? No way. My base is off by 2 blocks. I don't think going all the way into there is a good idea. Yet, at least. I think, maybe blocking that off might be better for airflow. I am going to force the duplicates to use the suits in order to work on this. And then I might seal up the cold biome here with some insulated tiling. I'm not too sure yet. But I'll let the game run. But this allows me to figure out the floors. Yeah, that was the whole point of this. So I know there's a floor here, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then yeah, floor here. And I think I'm gonna use I'll use mesh tile, and I'll just mark it with a single mesh tile. Alright, that sounds like it was the... No, not the oil well yet. It was the generators. And I can't build these. If I build these, I immediately fail the super sustainable achievement. But the whole point of putting these floors in place is so that I know where I can build the top of the oil biome. I want to cap it with some insulated tiling. So it looks like the highest oil well... I think it's this one. I just run along here. No, it's this one. Let's go a little higher than that. So it'd be whichever floor corresponds to that height. And then, oh, no, one might be a little bit higher. Anything up there? No, I don't see anything. So it looks like it might be this spot here. Nope. This one. So this is actually going to be insulated tiling across here. But I think I want to wait for ceramic before I do that, because replacing it later might be a nightmare. Yeah, and it doesn't hit any more oil wells. Okay, so I know where the bottom of my map is going to be. My only concern now is if I continue this up, I run into another geyser up here. Splitting these two in half is okay. Dupes can still get through, and I can seal these off. But if there's a geyser, like, right in the middle, I can't do this central ladder system. Oh, they're all working. I need more suit docks. Oh, I have access to lead now. Oh, this is going to be so easy. That means I should be able to make these out of lead. No, only aluminum and copper. Oh, that sucks. I've just noticed I'm out of reed fiber to fix the Atmos suits. It's because I had a little problem with the polluted water last episode. I do have this now. I'm gonna dig that up because I know it's safe. I'll analyze it. I do need to start taking advantage of this geyser. Well, really just as many water geysers as I can, because I'm down to my last few tanks here. And I'm noticing the biggest problem here is that this desalinator just can't process brine fast enough. Ignore the fact that it's out of power. So I might want to separate these two systems, do like a polluted water system and then maybe a brine system up here. Because the majority of the liquid in these tanks is actually brine. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that. This will process the last few bits of polluted water here. Alright, so I'm confident that this is only brine now. I'm gonna run it into here. And then send the polluted water back over to here, actually. Yeah, I think that's a better plan. So I'll just get in, oh, probably 2. I'll flip that bridge, and then this will come down into there. And then there's also this cool new bottle drainer. And this is kind of like the water dropper or dispenser. This thingy, the bottle emptier, just instead of going onto the ground, it goes into a pipe. And this would have been so convenient to have back when the Overly Science series was going. So I can set exactly what I want in here. So we can do water, salt water, and brine. And then run that into here. That way all of these little water bottles here can get cleaned up. This is using slightly more polluted water than what I'm actually producing. I've noticed this final bubble here slowly keep inching its way. So I could put in some showers. That would actually make a lot more polluted water. And it would help the duplicants out who are actually in some of this hydrogen gas. The showers will clean off soggy feet and eye irritation. But I need to guarantee my clean water input is stable before I put in showers and start spending water. Alright, but in the meantime, I want to figure out how to do this. So, I mean, I have the pump in place. It's just differentiating the brine from the polluted water, I think, is my only problem. So what I could do is just put in a filter. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, actually. So I'll do this. That can go into there. And then this will go over into... Yeah, into the tanks are fine. And then right here, I can have a polluted water output on priority. So this will do polluted water. There we go. Oh, it needs some power. There. And in that case, I might actually put in a second desalinator, because this over here will be guaranteed brine. That would double my processing throughput. So I want to go in, and then if it can't finish there, then it'll go there. And then the out, I guess we'll just go straight up like that. No, 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 no. I'm gonna move this. That's what I'm gonna do. So, snip that. And I think that. Snip that and that. Get rid of that. And then that can go up and... Yes, there we go. Okay. That'll work. That's gonna double my power draw, though. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Maybe we just connect that up to there. Yeah, it's a much more consistent flow of water there. And anytime this happens to pick up polluted water, it'll just go into the reed fibers on priority. How are we looking down here on our main ladder? Almost there, actually. Okay, this is looking really good now. I can set up a proper power spine out... ooh, I don't have that yet. Where is it? This. I'm gonna go all the way to renewable energy. Get the steam turbine. I don't want to use this heavy watt wire. I actually want to use the heavy watt conductive wire and use all of the lead that's down in this biome to do that. And I'm also going to want some pipes here. I'm going to make them... I don't think insulated is worth it. I think just regular pipes is fine. Well, okay, maybe in this area it would be a good idea to insulate it. Ah, screw it, I'll just make it insulated. I know I'm gonna have some stuff happening. Either water coming down, or oil going up, or even water going up, and then maybe something else coming down. But there's gonna be this really big pipeway in the middle here. So I'll have... I guess I do have to make this out of gold amalgam so it doesn't melt down here. How hot is it? Well, with all this water that fell, it kind of cooled off this area, so it's not even up to 75. I'll be safe. I'll just do a... I'll do a liquid pump out of gold amalgam. Here and here. And these will be pumping stuff back up. Alright, there is the heavy watt conductive wire. And eventually I might have 2 of these. But for now I'll run it down here. So these pumps will do 2 things. They're gonna pump crude oil that's dropped down here into the oil refinery to be turned into petroleum. And they're also going to pump out any clean, polluted, or salt water that's down here back up to the top to be processed. And I think I'm going to want that on... Alright, so this is the insulated floor. So right here will be the first floor to the oil biome. I could probably stick a refinery right here. And right here. Just connect those up to the main line. With a filter here. No, no, no. I don't want to do that. I need a storage tank first. Here and here. Yeah, that's important. Because I don't want the other liquids to get blocked because we're not processing the crude oil at the moment. So I'll do this into there, and then the rest can continue. So I'll bridge off, or I'll filter out any crude oil, and then send the rest back up. Like that. And then it can go into the refinery. Here and here. And since it is crude oil, at this point I know it won't break in the pipe, so I'm safe to use just regular piping. And then it needs to go into... Definitely going to want these for plastic, but I think maybe reservoirs first. Here and here. Just to buffer some petroleum. So that can go into that. That can go into that. And then I'll put in, finally, the polymer press. Nice and symmetrical. Ooh, refinement. Metal refinement. That's probably what I should do. I don't like making super integrated systems, though. Damn it, it's such a good idea. For now I have to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna redo a little bit of stuff here. I'm going to use the crude oil for some refinement, and then throw it into another tank. And then, once it's super hot, turn it into petroleum, and then buffer the petroleum, and only then turn it into plastic. So that's a lot of steps, but I think that's how I would extract maximum value from what's happening right here. The only downside is that we get really hot plastic, but plastic has such a low specific heat capacity that it's actually a really good heat sink. Well, you dump all the heat into the petroleum, then you turn the petroleum into plastic, and since plastic has a lower specific heat capacity than the petroleum, you end up just losing heat. Now, I actually haven't checked my duplicant skills in a while. Yeah, I've got a lot of points I can allocate. So Senna, you're supposed to help with building. Let's just do improved carrying. Rowan, now you're maxed. Pay, exosuit training, everyone needs that. Nisbet, your morale is good enough for exosuit training. Nicola, let's do construction. Get you a hat. Bubbles. Yeah, exosuit training. And you are my supplier. Ari, what are you doing? You are, looks like building operating. Let's go into this and that. And then I'll get you a hat. Demolition's fine. Alright, do you guys have exosuit training yet? No, you don't. Higby does. Joshua, let's do that. Marie will do that. Maya will do that. Mima's got it. Okay, that looks good. I think there should be a morale bonus for duplicants having a hat. Just like +1 or something. Oh, well, that's not good. This went dormant. How are we doing down here? That piping's not even close to being finished. How this is... This is nice and sealed up. Okay. Maybe we can start taking advantage of some of this polluted water here. I don't know what would be faster. To run another pipe, or just let them finish this. The plan right now is to pump everything up into these tanks here. And then I'll probably do... Yeah, I'll do water sieve, desalinator, and that may seem like a lot, but this is the only way to maintain throughput. But the way I plan on having this work, I guess I'd only need one buffer if I have this much processing. Yeah, the only reason I put on a second buffer was because I didn't want this much processing. Okay, hang on. Okay, so it's going to go into 2 buffer tanks. Then it's going to go into the water sieve. and then the desalinator just in series. And then I can do whatever I want with that clean water. It's guaranteed to be clean at this point. We've already filtered out all of the crude oil. So the only thing that's left is like ethanol and what's the new one? The sugar water. God damn it, this is bugging me. Sucrose. No. Nectar. Yes. Nectar. I mean, I don't know what else can get down here. I'm sure something will pop up and break something and annoy me. But I think I've got everything covered if I do this. Alright, looks like Nisbet just finished off that wire. That gets us power. Well, it should have. Where is it broken? There, okay, yeah, there we go. That gets us power all the way down to here. So these pumps are going to start working. And they stopped because, yeah, they're not connected to another output. So I actually need these side pipes to be finished for anything to start working. But yeah, that's going to be a ton of water, a little bit of crude oil. I don't want to... Oh, natural gas. Right. These produce natural gas. And they actually overpressurize at 5 kilos. Do I care about the natural gas yet? It'll sit below all of this polluted oxygen. So I think it'll just bubble up to about right here. I think we'll be okay. It's so far away from the base, I think it'll be okay. I guess I should set a recipe on these. I can't do steel because... undiscovered ingredients? Oh, I haven't made iron yet. Okay, let's make one thing of iron. On probably this one. This one will fill up with crude oil first. Oh yeah, that's a lot of water. What do I do with it? Once it comes out of here, I guess I could, it's guaranteed to be clean. So I'll just do this. Jump over that. Into there on... I probably want to use... Okay, wait a minute. This is coming from... Oh, it's getting messy again. Let's simplify. Okay, this goes away. What was the purpose of this? Oh, right, I broke this in the last episode. I don't need that anymore. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Let's break that. All of this junk can go away here. I don't need this little nonsense-y thing happening here. So that's just gonna go into there. Don't want that, don't want that. Yeah, all of that can just go away. No, I need that for the bathrooms. Which can just be connected like that. And then that can come straight down. Yeah, so I don't need that or any of... that, so that goes away. Which means this won't be here anymore. So this can just be a straight pipe. Oh, it feels good to get rid of spaghetti sometimes. Oh, we made the iron. Nice. Can we do steel? Why is it still undiscovered? What else do I need? Ingredient number 2. Oh, refined carbon. Oh, Jesus. It has been a long time since I played this game. Alright, I guess I'll just stick them down here. Oh, and plastic! Yeah, we're making plastic. Nice! Can I make a steam turbine now? Not quite. Alright, now I think I just need to figure out a way of getting this water into these tanks. Now, I could share this line. I think I could only do that if I had buffers on the outside. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So here and here. So I'll get some bridges in to maintain flow. Or to indicate flow. And then just run this. Okay, so that will go like that. And then this can just go around this way. This will go into there. And then these will just join up here. Because these are going to be at running at variable rates. So I need them to kind of buffer while the other one is working. That way once one stops working, the other one can kick in, and this pipe stays full. That's kind of what I'm trying to guarantee with this whole system. Alright, now I can make steel. I'm going to set that to forever. Maybe this one... Oh, it is set to iron. I'll set iron to forever. No, it makes more sense to do iron and steel here, and then over here we'll do gold, copper, and aluminum. Yeah, I like that. Ooh, here comes our first piece of steel. Oh, no, that was just iron. Way to be anticlimactic, Rowan. Damage overheated. How? I guess I need to make these out of gold amalgam. Did I make this out of gold amalgam? I made that out of gold amalgam. That's out of gold amalgam. Why is this not made out of gold amalgam? Interesting. Yeah, so now with both of these pipes feeding into the one pipe, this one pipe is guaranteed to be full. And anytime one skips a bubble because it's being the desalinator actually needs to be worked on, or if maybe the water sieve ran out of sand for some reason, there's always a buffer at the other one that can feed out. But what this will allow me to do, this is the cool part, I can now put in some showers. And those are 2 tiles each, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, right here. We'll get in some showers. And this will also increase duplicate morale. This should still count as a bathroom. Yeah, okay. That means I can actually just copy this to there, delete that, because these were just temporary refineries, metal refineries. Alright, I have to have enough plastic for it. Yes, I can make steam turbines. Okay, I don't really have to worry about heat anymore. Where do I want to put this thing? Do I have enough for an aqua tuner? No. Okay, well, I guess steam turbine doesn't matter if I can't make an aqua tuner. So I just need to refine more iron. Or, iron into steel. Don't have too much crude oil I could suck up here to do that. And I don't want to start pumping water down yet. I want to make sure I can fill up these tanks, because oxygen is more important. So if I look at this tank here on the end, it is... yeah, it's increasing. Okay. So maybe... I would like it to be warm water that's used. Because no matter what temperature the water I put into the reservoir, the crude oil coming out is always 90 degrees. So if I use super cold water, I still get really hot crude oil. So I might as well use really water that's already been warmed up by some process. Kind of like the whole thing I'm doing here, where I'm using the refinery into the press. But I think the first place I can put... or the first decent place... now let's actually make this out of... I guess aluminum ore is fine. Oh, that's a scrubber. Oil well. There we go. That's what I wanted. It's like, why can't I make it out of lead? Okay. I want that there. We'll break in right here. These need power and water, so I'll just drag power over to there. I think just doing this might be my best option. Or right here. Just send that over to there. So on this pipe here, I need clean water. What I could do is actually this. The only problem is now I need some kind of direction on that. So I'll do that. Okay, that'll send clean water down. And I know it's relatively warm because it's coming up from the biome here, the oil biome. Alright, this is most excellent now. We are actually producing oil. That would accumulate right here in this pool. I could just put a pump here, because I know this is guaranteed to be oil. Or I could just let it spill over and get picked up by the existing system. I guess it just depends on what I want more. Do I want this refinery to be running? That is quite important, actually. But how the hell do I run a pipe through there? And how do I guarantee it to be oil? Because if I have a spill... no, I don't think it could backflow. Okay, how do I get a pipe up to there? I could maybe come through right here. Yeah, I think that's my only option. Come through right there. That can go there. And then just something like this. Alright, this is working now. Getting crude oil into here. Beautiful. That'll fill up. And then we should get some steel. Now, I think I've said this in a previous episode, but I really wish you could prioritize a recipe within the refinery, or whatever thing you're doing, rather than making two separate buildings with two separate recipes at two separate priorities. Yeah, but this is beautiful. Just watching that water flow. Duplicants are gonna be living large soon. Oh, right. Do I have enough for an aqua tuner yet? Not even close. I think that'll be the last thing I do. Whoa. Why am I out of power? Why am I out of power? I actually need another generator. That'll compensate for all of the stuff I'm doing down here. These refineries are very power hungry. I'm noticing a couple of sick duplicants with slime lung, and it's because of all of this polluted oxygen down here that's being forced up. So I'm gonna extend this deodorizer idea just down through the whole column here. just to try and clean up some of this air. This whole system, I'm really happy with this whole system, actually. Yeah, I think the only thing left to do in this episode is wait for enough steel to make an aqua tuner. Come up with a cooling loop for this area to keep... Really, I just need to keep the trees below 40. But if I can cool this whole area down and get a steam turbine going, I'm pretty much set. I actually have so much water here and here. I think I need to make like a physical water tank, not these reservoirs. Don't know where I would put that or how long it would take me to do that. So I'm probably not going to do that in this episode. But next episode for sure, I'll make just a giant water tank for all of this. I guess maybe up here is a decent spot. I don't know. I'll figure it out in the next episode. But the main stuff I wanted to get done in this episode, I got done. I am starting to take advantage of the crude oil that's down here. Starting to make plastic. Still just waiting on that aqua tuner. Almost there. In the meantime, maybe we plan out the cooling loop and steam turbine location. I'm thinking somewhere near the oxygen production. Because if I cool off the oxygen's constantly flowing. It does have a lower specific heat capacity. Why is that broken? How did naphtha get here? Okay, let's think this through. A piece of plastic would have needed to have melt, run off the edge, get picked up by the pump, and then sent through these reservoirs, this, not breaking it, this, not breaking it, making it on the 50-50 bridge here, passing over, and then making its way through all of these reservoirs. Yeah, I don't know. You got me on that one, game. Good job. That's something I could not have predicted. See, this plastic sitting in this water here is only at just above 100. Right? It doesn't melt till 160. Where is it 160 around here? I don't understand. Ooh, actually no, that's not true. If the petroleum here it is, this is what happened. If the petroleum here is more than the melting point of the plastic, then when it comes out of the polymer press, it comes out as liquid naphtha instead of plastic. That's the only way that could have happened. I suppose the next best way of maybe using up all this water would just be to run it back into more oil. Because the next nearest well is actually down here. That would take a while for the oil to back up and then fill up into here. I want one that's above that level. Maybe I could do you, I guess. That'll take a long time for the oil to get over there. Same with that one. I guess no matter where I do it, whatever. Let's do this one. And this one. So I'll take the insulated pipe I have there. I could go under the pumps. Yeah, let's just go under. Under the pumps. And then I could do that. And well, no. I need space for a ladder. Right, because these need to actually be on a platform. So I'll do a ladder here. And I guess a ladder here is fine. then I'll run the plumbing across the ladders. Yeah. That way the dupes are guaranteed to have access. And then for power, yeah, I'll just continue this along. Plugging into there. And I'm out of lead. Shoot. This will take him a while to finish. It's just a water sink for now. I mean, I am eventually going to use the crude oil, so it's not like I'm wasting it. And I want to get this area cleaned up anyway. So I need to get this water out of here. And there's two ways of doing that. I can either make that giant tank that I was talking about, or I could just use the water. Because this is about to back up. And I'm pretty sure I have enough iron at this point, actually. I want them to focus on steel. Yeah, I have 2430 kilograms. And so any oil that gets picked up really should be used to make steel, not more iron. I think this is going to be the last piece right there. Let's check. Oh, I guess I got it a while ago. I'm not paying attention. How do we want to set up this cooling loop? I think maybe right here would be a good spot. So I'll just dig out... Oh, I just got an achievement. What was that? That was a steam achievement, not just oxygen not included. I think that was the super sustainable one. Yes! Okay. So now I can even burn the petroleum for power now. Oh, things are looking up. Things are looking up. But as I was saying, I'm just going to carve out a little area right here to work with. It'll fit right here. Well, yeah, I do need the ladders. Here's why. I want all of the debris to fall. I don't want to have to sweep it up. Yeah, and I can use all of this lead piping, too, for distributing heat. Let's clean up some more of this piping. So all of this stuff that's been decommissioned a long time ago needs to go away. Now, I can't run it through the pip farms like I normally do. I like to put it in the floor to hide the piping. But there's a natural tile in the way, so I think I could hide it and then go over and then hide it again. Maybe. Well, if I put this big brick of pipes in the way, it'd be a pain in the ass to extend this up. Okay, what do I need cooled? I think it's just the oxygen, actually. Yeah, I said this before. Where is it the warmest? Yeah, by this. Building broken. How did that happen? Alright, let's think about this a little bit more. I know the system is going to be temporary. It's going to be moved. I'm going to put the steam turbine right here. I'll put the aqua tuner down here. The output vent, sure, it can go right there, that's fine. I like to hide piping, so I'm gonna do that. Then I'll need the little bypass system. That can go back up. This will come down. Power... Let's see. Oh, that doesn't need to be insulated. I could do... Power transformer... Well, I guess the orientation doesn't matter. Sure, I'll put it there. And then this just needs to connect, I guess, to this. That's a long run. Then I'll come down over with lead, but then where it's in the steam room, I'm going to use iron. I don't want any melting happening here. Do I have all of the proper sensors? Yeah, liquid pipe thermosensor, beautiful. Not gate. I don't have a buffer gate. Let's research the buffer gate. That is here in advanced automation. I do know how the wires will look, though. This will come down, and that will go up. And then I'll just do radiant piping. I guess kind of like this. I can really just take it wherever I need it. Like, I could have it go around over here. And then maybe have some come down this way. Oh, I need to vacuum out this room, don't I? Yeah, I want it to just be steam. I actually think the easiest way of making a vacuum is just to block it all in, make a little liquid lock, and then deconstruct the inside, rather than pumping it all out. Alright, there's the automation, though. So I want the filter gate. Yeah, I want the filter gate here. Because if just one bubble of water or coolant it triggers the sensor, then you don't get... Like, the aquatuner needs to stay on for a couple of cycles to actually cool something. If it's on, off, on, off, on, off. It's using power, but it doesn't actually cool anything because it goes off and just passes the bubble through it the same time it realizes that it needs to be off. So you need to have at least 2 bubbles that require cooling, because then the first one that trips the sensor will cause the second bubble to be cooled. And that's just because of how far away the sensor is from the aquatuner. Right, so it's never detecting the bubble that it's working on. It's always detecting the previous, or the bubble before the one that it's working on. So even if the one that triggers the sensor goes in, it gets turned off by the one behind it if it's not also the temperature to trigger the sensor. That was a very long, convoluted explanation to say you just need a filter gate. And then I can get any liquid in here, water, salt water, or brine, whichever one they bring first. Actually, I'll mop that up. What is that? Salt water? I'll set this to salt water. That's actually incorrect. It should be here. This needs to flip. That way. So it should output here and then flow into this, and then because there's a tile diagonally, it makes a lock, and then I can just block all this up. Yeah, alright, perfect. That's enough. Alright, and this is a vacuum now. Deconstruct the buildings behind all of that. That should stay a vacuum. That can put everything back in, then fill it up from that pipe there. Yes, still a vacuum. Beautiful. So I'll go ahead and put everything back in. Get that. And that. And that. And I think that's everything, actually. Don't exhale, whatever you do. Now, for the setting on this thermosensor, I guess it depends on what coolant I want to use. I'll probably be using polluted water, which freezes at -20. So if this is ever above 0, then turn on. That seems reasonable. I'll seal that up, and then just borrow this water right here. And now I could leave this in case I need to break back in and fix something, but I'm pretty confident in my design. I'm gonna clean this up. I suppose the only source of polluted water is gonna be from this, so I'll run this over here. And I guess just put it in a tank. I'm not too sure how I want to route the piping yet. So I'll just collect it for once I'm ready. So these are going to starve for a while, but I have a surplus of reed fiber, so it's fine. Alright, what do I want to cool off? Everything. I want to freeze the world. I'm thinking maybe just something through the center. No, that's actually the worst spot for it, because I'm going to extend these pipes up through it. Really, I just need this top area to be cool. So, that pipe won't be there. No, yeah, that pipe will be there. Okay, we're going to run it this way. Through here. Yeah, just something really simple. And if I look at the flow direction, this pipe would need to face that way, and this one faces that way. And I also need... Oh, I forgot the buffer. That's okay. I will put it... Sure, I'll put it there. And then this part around the turbine, I think I'm actually just going to make out of granite. Not insulated. Or not radiant. And then to fill it, all I have to do is bridge on here. And I can do something like that. That's probably enough water now. These pipes are in the way, so I'll just cut that. Get all this junk out of the way. Alright. Oh, things are happening. Yeah, they just finished the piping. I didn't notice. This is working. Water's heating up. It's actually going to take a while for that to turn into steam, but this is going to take a lot of power. This whole apparatus is power negative. But that's okay. Got the power to spare. I really just want to get rid of this heat. Been wanting to get rid of this heat for 186 cycles. What is the output temperature? Only like 20, 30 degrees? What's its input? 40? Yeah, that makes sense. Starting to get the tiniest bit of cooling showing up right here. Yeah, I think once this cooling loop fills up with polluted water, that's going to be at the end of this episode. Got a lot of major things done. I think it'd be pretty hard to actually die just straight out now. Food handled that last episode. Oxygen handled that a while back. Water handled that this episode. And those are like the only three things you need. Water and food. If you got water, then you have oxygen. And power. Power. Not actually looking good on power. I think this vent went dormant. Yeah. Next activity is in 10 cycles. But we got super sustainable, and we have access to crude oil. So I think the next episode will be not just tapping into crude oil, but like fully utilizing it. So I'm going to get rid of all of these hydrogen generators. I'll probably... Well, not all of them. I need a couple to burn off this hydrogen. I'll probably plug this up. I don't need that anymore. And I'll just really focus on getting a bunch of oil wells, crude oil, and petroleum generators. Now, that will be water negative, so I'll need to definitely utilize this vent. Figure out how I want to use these two vents now that I kind of split them in half. And then I do have that other geyser here, and I found this one way back in episode 1. I kind of forgot this was here. Got another geyser up here I could use for water. And I don't care that it comes out at 95. I have steam turbines now. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can get done in the next episode. I've noticed a lot of the barbecue is just rotting. That means we're overproducing food. And now that I have so much water, I can really just take on a bunch of duplicants. The water will provide them with oxygen. I'm obviously overproducing food, so that won't be a problem. I don't know if I want to make a full-on housing unit and do a whole bunch of oil stuff in the next episode. I think I'm going to have to pick one or the other. I think oil should come first, because that gives me sustainable power and transit tubes. And transit tubes lets me make completely isolated housing units. So I think, yeah, oil will come first next episode, and then the one after that will probably be the housing unit. And by then, I should have the majority of the map explored, so I know kind of where I want to put everything. I want to uncover all the geysers, see where I can build, and then from there, kind of fit in the housing units. I'm definitely going to have at least, I think I'm going to go for 4. I don't know where I want to put them, but I think there's something like 40-ish duplicants, if you count, where is he? If you count George. I don't know about the neutronium pack, where that put it. Let me look this up. Okay, so if I count the duplicants from the bionic booster pack, that's hard to say, then it's actually over 40. So that means I could do like a housing unit or 4 housing units with 12 each. I think that would be a nice size. Alright, but it looks like this pipe is full. Excellent. Don't need this bridge anymore. And I'm just gonna run that back out there. How are we on temps? Ooh. So this cooling loop, super good. I think it'll be just enough to keep this place from stifling. Keep everyone comfortable. That'll buy me enough time to get through the next episode of solving power. And then, yeah, after power, it'll be the housing unit. Alright, so here's a quick overview of the base. And what we did down here. I think that might be a good thumbnail right there. Alright, but that was really good progress. So, hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.